Well, we've got 8 months until signing day, but that doesn't mean Derwin James hasn't put his commitment in permanent ink. Half of his left arm has a Seminole theme, though we've seen guys with tats flip before. That would be pretty hard to hide at rival Florida, I would think. Hi, everybody. I'm Ray Crawford. Let's talk more about the recruiting rivalry between the Noles and Gators. And here to help us out, the National Recruiting Director for Rivals.com, Mike Farrell. And Mike, this is not the longest rivalry in college football. It dates back to just 1958, but it is as intense as any you'll ever find. Is it that way in recruiting as well?
It's not quite as intense in recruiting. There's so much competition in the state of Florida. You got to throw Miami in there, Clemson, Georgia, Alabama, everybody who raids the state of Florida. So Florida and Florida State, they do go head-to-head against each other, just not as often as you'd think, especially, them being the two finalists for prospects. But this year, there's 3 wide receivers that they're involved with. Deion Kane is committed to Clemson. They went into the state of Florida, stole him out of there. Florida and Florida State really want this kid. He's emerging as potentially the #1 wide receiver in the state. So they're both going to try to flip him. So it'll be interesting to see if he can, hold true to the Tigers. You got George Campbell, who's a big name kid who committed to Michigan early in the process, decommitted. Now Florida seems to have the edge there, but Florida State is pushing strong as of late. And then Auden Tate is a guy who's a very talented wide receiver as well. Florida State has the lead there. Florida, pushing up the charts, probably 2 or 3. So you're going to see probably 2 or 3 of these guys end up at Florida State and have a battle between the 2 of them.
All right, so those are some skill guys, as you mentioned. How about the big guys in the trenches? What linemen have their sights set on these programs?
Well, C.C. Jefferson is a 5-star defensive end. He plays D-tackle in high school, and he's a big Gator fan, a big lean to the Gators. A lot of people thought he would have committed by now, but he's playing wait and see like a lot of people are to see what happens with Will Muschamp and the Gator staff after this season. Florida State just hanging in there, probably #2 right now for CC, and obviously a strong season again like last year would help them. And then Abdul Bello is an offensive tackle. He's a coveted guy because offensive linemen in the state of Florida aren't that common. It's a lot of skilled guys, a lot of defensive linemen. So he's right now, kind of even between the 2 of them, but there's a lot of pro-Florida coaches, I believe, in his ear, sort of telling him to go to the Gators, but he might play wait and see as well.
The race continues for some of this top talent. Mike, great insight as always. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks a lot.
A few years ago, Florida showed interest in a dual-threat quarterback from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina back in 2011, but Everett Golson ultimately landed in South Bend. We preview the season ahead for Notre Dame on CampusInsiders.com.